Hey there, good morning. Remember us? Happy Shochu'sday from Japan. It's Stephen and Christopher. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. And Kanpai to everybody out there. We're back
I'm
in the
ready.
saddle. How you doing, Stephen?
Yeah. Good. I'm good. It's nice to be back on Show Tuesday. We haven't done this in a little while, and I did warn people on one of our recent podcast episodes that these are going to be, as we would say in Japan, tokidoki, every once in a while.
Yeah.
We don't have the same schedule that we did during the pandemic when we could hole up at home every Wednesday morning and record these, and now we're off on the road. We've got visitors, we've got responsibilities in all sorts of directions, so we do
You
it when
got
we can.
shit to do.
That's
Yep.
fair. Language.
Oh, sorry.
Um, yeah, that's all
It's
right.
early. I didn't
You,
put
you
my
you were in
filter
the
on.
States for a while. I'm sure you've picked up some bad habits.
Oh, I've
Um,
picked up a lot of bad habits.
that's what
Yep.
I'm afraid of.
Like randomly accosting people, generally being annoying. Way too much energy, always feeling like I want to go bowling. It was exciting, but I would love to know when it's going to end. But I have been
Yeah,
back since when? Last Tuesday, so
it's been a
a
little over
week.
a week. Yeah,
Yep.
week
And
plus, and then this weekend you're down to Fukuoka, and
yeah,
we're off to the races. We're going to be visiting a bunch of distilleries and having a great time. Keep an eye on our social. Should be fun. It all culminates at something we can. But maybe we'll kick off with the big one if you want to do that. This is
oh,
all
sure, sure,
this.
sure.
Yeah, I think our whole thing today is really about all the upcoming Shochu events, which are happening all over Japan and even overseas.
This is the
So
first year where it's really felt like there is energy, like there
yeah,
is like from a bunch of different angles. So it's kind of exciting.
yep, yeah, and we'll finish off our little jaunt down south here in Kyushu at Shochu Street, which we are so glad is back. We were afraid that they were going to kill it because they do a 3 day Shochu festival, November 1st, which is International Shochu Day. I guess Shochu and Awamori Day.
Hmm.
And but of course in Kagoshima, it's all Shochu all the time. They do a 3 day festival, November 1st, 2nd, 3rd. And when it was falling on a weekend, they were doing it religiously. And then with the pandemic, and then it wasn't on a weekend, it kind of disappeared for a couple of years. I guess we thought it might be dead. It was apparently just on hiatus because it's back, even though it's midweek, and we will be done. So
Yeah.
that's really exciting. Shochu Street in Tenmonkan, the central covered shopping district in Kagoshima City. The funny thing about like those coverings in most of Japan are for sun and rain. In Tenmonkan and Kagoshima, they're for ash. Right? It's to keep your clothes clean while you're out shopping with all the volcanic activity across the bay. So
That's right. We do have a bunch of them though, so we're going to dance around the planet just a little bit. And with that in mind, if you're watching this live or you're watching this on archive, if you know of any other events that are either on, in the lead up to November 1st or the week or two afterwards that could reasonably claim to be Shochu and Aomori Day adjacent, then let us know because either by tagging us on social or just dropping us a line somehow, DMing us, because we would love to amplify those things. We want people to know about this stuff, and that's why we're devoting a whole episode to this today. So, just before we get into the rundown, I'm actually going to deflect away real quick because I don't want to forget this. There is some new activity, not the main event, sorry. Where is it? Where the heck?
it's the
Oh, I
banner now.
moved
It's down
it.
there at the bottom. Isn't that the one?
Shit. I
Or you got more?
wanted the rat bastard. I thought we just had a.
Language.
The rat bastard's not that bad.
It's
Um,
good.
Why? It's gone. Did I delete it? I deleted something. Okay, never mind.
Oh,
I'm going to hide
okay.
that. What I was
Yep.
hoping to do was to direct people's attention to Japan Distilled because
Yeah.
since the last time we did one of these live Show Tuesday events, a bunch
Yep.
of episodes have gone out.
That's
And
right.
I'm going to share, but I'm going to let Steven kind of talk about that.
Sure.
I'm going to
Yeah.
share
We
this.
while Christopher was back in the States, we kept busy. We did have that really geeky episode a few episodes back on what's happening inside the still, which I think was maybe 3 episodes ago. That going deep
Episode
inside the pot. So
65.
episode 65. It's. I mean, we've had a couple of really geeky episodes this season. I think this might be our geekiest. This was really deep and heavy. I got DMs from a bunch of home distillers and people. We were just fascinated by the depth of biochemistry that Christopher dropped.
Did I?
Pretty,
I need to listen to
pretty
it.
amazing.
What did I say?
Yeah.
All right.
And then
That's cool.
let's see. Oh, we don't have a picture for Yabai Chuhai. Interesting. I got to set that up. Sorry about that. So after that, episode 66, we went like super, super deep dive inside the still, like all the biochemistry. Then we jump into like completely fun and frivolous. And that's Yabai Chuhai and skateboarding with Jason Rogers, which was a fun conversation. He was a pro skater from the age of 16, has since then become a serial entrepreneur, and one of his passions from his time spent in Japan was Chuhais. He had fond memories of drinking Chuhais on the sidewalk outside of 7-Eleven, and decided to create his own brand because none of it was available in the U.S. And he's in California, and he does some fun stuff, and it's a really, really fun brand that he's got going, and it's Chuhais are fun. They contain distilled alcohol, so they fit in the Japan distilled universe. And then after that, there was an interview with Jesse Falowitz of Mizu Shochu, which is really the forerunner for export only shochu. I mean, it is available in Japan, but it's very limited quantities. It's hard to find. They do it just because there are bars here that want it, but
Certainly.
it was really brand line developed for export, has evolved into a pretty amazing cocktail brand, and they've got the strongest, basically premium highball Chuhai program of any spirits brand out there.
Oh, bar none.
Yeah, crazy fun, and then they do these great events whenever Jesse or Tycho are in a city around the U.S. Follow them on social, really, because they call it like high time or that sort of thing. They have all these really fun, basically happy hour takeovers that they do, where they'll do an entire line of really, really creative Chuhais and highballs, and you can try them. They're pretty delicious. So that's Jesse.
And these are the show notes that I'm flicking through right now, folks. You definitely should always check these out, because Stephen works very hard on these, and there's a lot of extra information and context that is sometimes put in here. So it's well worth the ride. I'm going to stop sharing that for the second. But yes, we do have some new stuff up since the last time we convened. And thank you, Anagman, for your very kind comments, and thank you for listening. We definitely appreciate you. Yeah. We are on to the main event now, I think.
If I can just make one more comment, just that we're going to try something very, very new in our next episode, because you're coming to Fukuoka, and we are going to record our first episode of the two of us in the same room together.
If we have time.
We have time. We will make time.
Okay. Yep. So we are going to try that. We will have. Don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah, we're going to sit right here. We're going to talk into this microphone, and hopefully Rich doesn't kill us for cross talking and all of that. But it should be a good time. We will make it happen.
We'll make it happen. Okay. The main event. Lots of upcoming stuff. I'm going to do some more screen sharing, and we're actually going to start in the US of A. Because this should be quite good, and it's going to be Eventbrite, isn't it? Yep. Okay, so first up, we have Shochu on the Rocks, which is being organized by DC Sake, another person who you need to follow on Instagram anyways. I think they're on Twitter as well, but I have mostly avoided that for the last little while. Shochu on the Rocks is going to be a good chance for you to taste a bunch of different shochu and learn about them from Jake Tenenbaum, who will be in town. He's a U.S.-based, a New Jersey-based shochu and awamori expert, and he hosts a good show. So get your tickets. It looks like they're $55 to $65 on Eventbrite. This is going to be, I think the date was the 9th. Is that right? November 9th. November 9th. So 6:30 to 8:30 Eastern time. If you're available at that time, absolutely get in there. It looks like the doors open at 6:20, and you're going to get to drink some good stuff and rub elbows with some very, very interesting people. So go give that a shot.
Sorry, it's small on my screen. What's the bottle that's there? It almost looks like it's probably not a real one.
It's not. It just says Honkaku Shochu on it, so it's a render.
It's funny because what it looked like to me was the original, the atmospheric distilled Sengetsu shochu that
Mm-hmm.
was actually the first shochu ever imported to the United States back
Okay, I see
in
that.
the late 60s, early 70s. Yeah, from the as small as it looks on my screen, it's super super tiny. It's this little
Yeah,
dot.
everything in this is there's a lot of detail here. You've got these two characters over here on the left that are standing on an ice cube and they're looking at a map and above them it says what is shochu in white. They're like trying to figure out. Over on the right there's a cup with a big berg in it. And there's you got rock climbers on here. Somebody's like belaying and
They're
you've got it says
pulling
what
up
does
sweet
shochu
potatoes.
taste like and what is shochu made of? Are these little call outs and
Yeah, nice.
leaning into the mysterious world of shochu is the one at the bottom near the rim of the
Get
cup.
got
So
them pulling sweet potatoes up on the side, and you got
yeah, that's
sheets of
right. They
butter
are.
and rice. Yeah,
They're hoisting them up the side. It's pretty cool.
they, yeah, they put some effort into that. That's cool. I like it.
Yep. So yeah, worth checking out the site, even if it's just to. Let me actually put this in the. I'm gonna drop this in the chat so that people can go and find it immediately. Here you go, folks. There is the link to Eventbrite, and hopefully that goes out to
Yeah,
both YouTube
that's
and
not a bad
Facebook.
reason.
It did.
Yeah,
Good. All right.
that's not a bad excuse to go down to DC. Honestly,
No, not a, I
that's pretty cool.
about as good as any. All right. Let me see. What can I do next? Okay, so can I? I wonder if I can just shift within here. Probably not. Nope, can't. Have to
Yeah.
reshare. Okay.
All right.
So next up, let's see. I'm gonna by the last one, I'm gonna get very smooth at this. What's next in my queue? Oh, okay. These guys occasionally show up. This is in Tokyo. This is an event on the 28th, as you can see. It's at Oimachi Station or near there, and it's going to involve 27 distilleries on the 28th. So it's what is the 28th? This Saturday, huh?
Saturday. Yep.
Yep. And it looks like you've got, if you go through the roster here at the very top, you can see each go right up there at the top. And down the left side, you got a little bit of Kokuto Sugar Shochu. You've got Nanko. You've got Kozuru from Komasa here. Denen down in the middle at the very bottom, in the bottom row, right next to something from Hombo. You got Yamamoto and Nishiyoshida. Like a pretty good
Yeah, sure.
roster here. Medium size distiller,
And a
medium to large.
nice mix of parts of the country too. You've got all of the major styles represented, and a little bit of Awamori even. It looks like so. That's
Mm-hmm.
cool. Yeah,
Yep.
that'd be a good
So
event if you're in Tokyo.
it looks like it's going to be for an all-you-can-drink situation. It's 1,500 yen for just one glass. You get that's a 400 yen per pour, and it looks like it starts at 11 a.m. So you could probably do some pretty serious damage. Not that I'm encouraging that.
Yeah, for
So this is a
1,500
both
yen, that's
shochu and awamori event, which I think is cool because it is, for better or worse, the day November 1st is shared by the two distinct styles. And I mean, well, shochu's a bunch of distinct styles unto itself. But anyway, you get my point. We have talked about them potentially separating the two because they both deserve their own day. But that notwithstanding, if you're
Yeah.
in the Tokyo area, this could be a lot of fun.
And that's a good compromise to do it on the weekend because, as we said, down in Kagoshima, they're running Shochu'sday events on the 1st, which is in the middle of the week. But 27 distilleries on a Saturday for 1,500 yen. Again, if I was in Tokyo, I think I'd be there. I'm sure you would
Uh-huh.
be too. Unfortunately, I'm dragging you to Kyushu. So
Yeah, I don't know if I would. There's so many things going on. I mean, I have enjoyed I am a Jomo type of guy. I experience the joy of missing out because I do like staying home. And I'm still tired from my trip. So let's move on to a biggie. We went to this last year, but they did these, bless their cotton socks. They just don't announce things in time for us to know about them and plan around them. So this one kind of popped up relatively recently. And where are you? There you are. Okay, so this is our old friend Shochu no Giorno Miyazaki 2023. We had a very nice time there last
we
year
did.
when we
Yep.
brought a crew with us. And it is, as you can see, on the 29th, so this is Sunday. And Shochu Nongiorno is, again, at Amyu Plaza Miyazaki, so right in front of the main train station, on the side facing away from the ocean. So the ocean side is actually not the side where all of the fun happens. It's on the mountain side, which I guess would be the west exit. If I can't remember if
Correct.
it's west or north, but
It is west.
yeah. And so you've got, it's a ticketed, or it was last year, a ticketed event. It is 1,000 yen, and you're going to get your little shochu cup and tickets for drinks and that sort of thing. And they have most, if not all, of the shochu makers from Miyazaki attending and manning booths or humaning booths at this event. So it's definitely worth your time if you're going to be in the area. And
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think if we had known about it, we would have built that into our plans this weekend.
And
But,
yeah, this happens all the time. So then I remember they announced it or they like really went official with it, maybe at the end of August or something like that. Or maybe it was early September. And like, hey, you guys coming again this year? I was like, guys, we already planned the whole thing. And if you had told us, we could have flipped it. But no, they were a little slow on the uptake, which is kind of strange because they obviously had to reserve that space in front of the station well in advance, so they knew it was happening. But hey, whatever. They like to claim that this is, you know what they do? They claim 9 years in a row, #1 in Japan, and that's in terms of Honkaku Shochu shipments, thanks to the fact that Kirishima and Unkai distilleries are both in Miyazaki, and those two on their own can pretty much take on the rest of the world. So they have been #1 in overall shochu shipments, probably in value too, quite honestly.
You know who's been doing really, really well as well? I'm sure they're nowhere near the size, but Kuroki Honten, I see their stuff everywhere these days.
Yeah.
Right?
They are.
So another Miyazaki maker with pretty amazing stuff. So
very true. And then you've got other huge or like large, medium-sized makers like Oimachi and Katsushika and or Yatsushika, all of these distilleries that really pump out quite a lot of product and are kind of under the radar a little bit, but they're out there, like Ginza no Suzume and that sort of thing. It's like, there's all sorts of stuff. Oh, that is an Oita maker, isn't it? Who am I thinking of then? I'm thinking
Inoue, maybe?
Oh, am I thinking of Kagura? Maybe I'm thinking of Kagura.
Big, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, and Inoue is big. Takachiho's good size. Yeah, there's a bunch of good size makers.
Yeah, like flying under the radar, but they're there and they're everywhere if you look around. So Miyazaki's marching hard. So good for them.
Yeah.
All right.
Wish we could be there.
I know.
And we don't really have a lot going on.
Wish we could be there. What's that?
We don't really have a lot going on Sunday. We could just fly down for the day. It's like a 35-minute flight from Fukuoka.
Yeah, we'll see how we feel after our dinner on Saturday night. Let's see. I'm not opposed to it necessarily, but let's see.
Yeah.
Last but not least is the one that you already preambled with, and it is back. This is not a particularly exciting graphic, but Shochu Street is on once again, resurrected from the dead. And I would say that there were like people in the Kumiai who were legit saying that it wasn't coming back. There was going to be an event, but it was going to take a different form. They were not going to do it under the arcade. And this was all kind of the fever dream of the pandemic and people just feeling like things had changed irreparably or something like that. But we're kind of sort of, touch wood, on the other side of it. And while people are still masking quite a bit when they get on a crowded train, it's not what it was last year or the year before. People have relaxed a little bit and gotten used to being out in the open and around other people for better or worse. And here we go, November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. We are going to be, well, at least for a good chunk of this, we will be joining the masses for a celebration of Kagoshima Shochu. And you can see that on, where does it say? There it is. On the first, it's from 5:30 to 8, so it's a little bit abbreviated. There will be, they have that stage where I think our good friend Maya is going to be on the stage, actually,
She is
on the
on the
first day.
first. Yep.
Yeah, so we'll need to make sure that we're there for that. Then on the second, it's again 5:30 to 8. And then on the third Friday, it starts at 2 until 7. So you can see, because these are all weekdays, it's a little bit truncated, a little brief. And it's going to cost you 1,000 yen, as always, but for 3 drinks. And you can redeem those 3 drinks across the 3 days if you want to. It's not just beholden to one day. The tickets are good throughout the entire event. And it looks like they're selling tickets in a few different places. You can buy them through E+. You can buy them at Family Mart. Yeah, go Family Mart. And they said, on the first, they have this special event. It's the opening ceremony from 5:30. The Kanpai is at 6. There's a second Kanpai at 7:50. And it looks like, it's the, all the, there, here we go. Okay, so here's the map.
That's all the makers.
Look at all those makers. Each one of those lines is a shochu maker. Yes, Kagoshima holds the crown for the most shochu makers in one prefecture, active shochu makers. And so they're all going to be packed into these zones by region. And it's a little hard to read, but...
I mean, that's just a lot of people are going to be there. Let's put it.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people milling about this arcade. It's a shape or a cross-shaped arcade in this area. It actually extends quite far over to the north, which is right and right, lefty right up on going up into the northeast as this is oriented. But should be a good time. Oh, look who it is. Oh, it's Eddie. Down here at the bottom, you can see also a friend of ours, Eddie, is going to be one of the main MCs. She always is in the mix. She's a radio personality and kind of she's just an ambassador for Kagoshima and the shochu industry as a whole, and just shochu, from start to finish. She's a lot of fun to hang out with too. Anyways, that everyone is a slice of what is happening down around the world.
A little note on the 3rd, that's actually a holiday in Japan. That's why it's starting at 2 p.m. on a Friday. It's not just a casual Friday situation.
That's right. So, it's like, what is it, sports or culture day or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah, sports or culture, depending on which you like. If you care more about sports or culture, then you can choose your own adventure holiday.
I like them both, so it's Spelcher day for me.
Let's play sports in the morning, and then we'll drink shochu in the afternoon.
We'll be sophisticated in the afternoon. Sure, I can probably try and make that happen.
Yeah. Well, we will definitely be there on the 1st for anybody that is headed that way. I think Justin Cobb is planning on being there. 2nd, we are hoping to be there, and 3rd, I will not. I don't know about you if you were going to stay for the whole thing, but
I'm unsure at this point too. Maya just chimed in. Hi, Maya. The talk session will involve both herself and Eddie, and then also Maiko Jikuya. So that's pretty cool. That trio right there.
Shochu maker. Yeah,
Love it.
That is cool. That'll be fun. 6:30, we'll be there.
6:30 on the stage. Okay, good to know.
Yep.
We will make sure that we're there, and with bells on. Excellent. That also is going to be the day after Halloween, I suppose. So I don't know if people will be
dressing up this year, Christopher?
I don't think so, but
I think you are. I think you're dressing up as a soccer player.
Okay, Dad. I gotta start packing actually because I'm leaving tomorrow. All right, cool.
Sure.
Well, everybody, hopefully you feel motivated, and that we didn't even mention all of the Shinshu things that are going on this weekend. I mean, like everywhere. Yeah, you're happy to miss out, and you're very proud to state your opposition to it. But I'm bummed that I'm missing out on a bunch of that stuff because it's really fun to see where things are starting. It's a good yardstick for the year.
Sure, that's a fair assessment. I'll let you review and let me know how things are going.
I'm gonna be stuck in Fukuoka. There's not a whole lot of fun shit going on up there.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Language.
Thank you for. Yeah, sorry.
You swore
I'll
three
quit
times
it.
on this show.
It's like 6
You'd think
weeks of
you'd think
pent
yeah,
up energy that is being unleashed here. So
yeah.
next week we will
You'd think that
not
I
be
don't
back.
swear.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
You just watch
Um,
your mouth better than I do. So next week we
um,
won't be
when
back
it's
because
being
we will
recorded.
be
That's
we
right.
will be busy with a
Yeah.
group
We're,
of folks in. I don't know where we'll be.
well,
You know where we'll be.
next week is actually Shochu no Hi. I think we're gonna have to jump on with a little bit of a live stream
You can
from
jump on with a live
Shochu
stream. I
Street.
will be nowhere to be found.
I'll
Uh,
find you and I'll put you on the live stream, but you don't have to talk. You can just
okay,
wave.
we may be on, but it'll be very last minute and very
Hmm.
like
And probably
uncoordinated.
earlier. I don't think. I think we're gonna. You know what? I'll commit to that. I'll do a live stream of Shochu Street, so you at least get a taste of it.
It won't have
I've done that
started
on
yet,
my.
but they'll be setting up. They might not even be setting up yet, honestly.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right, because I'm thinking. Never mind. I'll live stream from the event. It's gonna be you guys' morning.
Oh, so it's
You
going to
can
be
watch.
the
You
night
can
of
watch
the
it on.
first, and then
I'll
it would
record it.
be
Yeah,
Wednesday morning instead, and you can watch it on archive
exactly.
if you
Yeah,
guys
but
are
you
at
can
work
see
and
what
doing
it's like. I think we
responsible
need to
stuff.
do that.
Okay,
Yeah,
well
exactly. Maybe.
yeah, I suppose you're right. We should probably catalog
Yep.
it. Okay.
Yep. Cool.
Anyhow,
That's great, Christopher. You got any newly opened or bottle
oh
kills?
shoot, I forgot about that part. Okay, yeah, newly opened. Um,
Oop, we both showed it at the same time.
I do not.
I can go.
I got bottle kill.
I don't know how you.
but
I don't know how you pronounce it, but because it's a big long name. But I went back to this. I wouldn't say it's a newly open necessarily, but it's a haven't tried it
oh,
in quite a while.
huh.
Jim
Okay.
Ryan posted about this on his Instagram and reminded me that I had it. This is a barrel aged sweet potato shochu, 40% alcohol from Osuzuyama, same ownership group as Kuroki Honten. And it's nice. It's very nice. Really nice body, mouthfeel, texture, aroma. Um, it's got some French on the label because they're fancy down there. I can't read French. I can read it. I can't pronounce it. So anyway, do you know what this is called, Christopher? It's kind of a long name.
Uh, uh, that's the nope.
Yep.
What? No, I don't. I thought that was the running rabbit one, but it's not.
No, it's not. I'll send a picture to you, and you can translate it later and
Okay.
tell me what it's called. Actually, Jim, I think. Hold on. Apologies for this very unprofessional interruption, but oh, and for those of you who would like, we could invite you to the Japan Drinks Discord channel if anybody would like an invitation. There's lots of cool stuff happening on
Sure. That's
there.
yeah. No
So
lies detected.
Jim, who's a translator, actually did the translation, and he calls it "In Search of Lost Time," which is the name. I don't know how to pronounce that in Japanese because I still have trouble knowing which kanji to use or which pronunciation of kanji to use, even if I recognize the kanji. So, because I haven't been studying Japanese in a while, been busy. That's a nice Astro Boy thing you got going on there, Christopher. I think you ran your
In my
fingers
hair,
through your
you
hair.
like that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of there's something about Mary. Now with that image in your head, we can adjourn.
Yep.
So everybody,
Good
let's
stuff.
see. Oh, yeah, of course Richard came through with the what is it? Urushi nareta toki o motomete. Okay.
Yep. So, like I said, a long name.
So, thank you, Richard, and thank you, everybody. Thank you, Stephen. We
Thank you, Christopher.
may be back at some point next week, so just check Facebook and YouTube for any breadcrumbs that might be there, letting you know that we may be going live. It could be a last-minute decision. It probably will be a last-minute decision. More likely, we'll forget entirely. But we may actually put something up. So until then, everybody out there all around the world preparing for Shochu'sday, Shochu'sday, Shochu and Awamori Day, make sure that you go out to your local and find a bottle to celebrate with. You have to plan ahead for these things. If you don't have any Shochu or Awamori at home, if they don't carry any, then ask for it. Tell them you want some. and they'll find it if they know
they'll
they
order
can
for
sell it. Yep. So from both of us here in Japan to all of you out and around the world, a very hearty and very heartfelt kanpai.
Kanpai.